We're live. GM, everyone. Great to
GM,
be
GM,
on
everybody.
another Epoch 12 live stream. This time with my co hosts and friends, Miss Purple and DeFi Prince. Excited to have you here.
GM excited.
Excited to be here.
Yeah, so today is going to be a little different than the previous days and the next days. Today is going to be more casual, just walking through Octant V2, talking about the new features, maybe reviewing the projects a little bit, and then just random chit chat. So very excited for it. Um, let's do some sharing of this space actually now that we're here. So that more people can join. I see a few people jumping in already. Welcome. Welcome. And hosting. Sweet. Yeah. So how are you guys doing? We were just chatting. We're all in the southern hemisphere where that's super cold. Everyone's complaining about the
Yay!
heat up north, but it's cold down here. How are you
Yeah,
surviving it?
we're surviving. We're surviving. I'm surviving fully on hot chocolate and tea. And soup. That's how I'm doing. But I'm good. I'm good. It's a good time to be alive. Forces you to kind of hanker down, build some things, and play around. So I'm doing good.
Miss Papa, I want to know: do you people have like frostbites because of the cold, something like
Frostbite, sir. No.
that?
No, it does not get that bad.
I'm
It
just
does not
curious.
get that bad.
Okay.
That would be insane. Luckily, no.
Yeah,
Thank heavens.
that would be very good.
Yeah, imagine that. Nice. We have Julio saying GM Julio,
GM Julio.
always in the live
GM.
streams. Thank you for attending. And yeah, maybe let's start with a quick round of intros. I'm Nico, the ecosystem lead at Octant. You've probably seen me a bunch. You're probably bored of my face already, but I've been hosting these live streams every day since the beginning. We also hosted a demo day so that you all get to know the projects. It's live on our YouTube channel. You just search for Octant app on YouTube and you will see it there. So check it out. But yeah, we have Epoch 12 up and running now. You can vote for 25 amazing projects, mostly Ethereum related, but there's a few that are not, that are also very interesting. You should check them out. And with Epoch 12, we've rolled out a bunch of updates that we're going to go through in this live stream. So excited to show you all. And as we've been doing in this epoch, we've been bringing amazing co-hosts from our community. And today we have Miss Purple and DeFi Prince. Please introduce yourselves. Miss Purple, please start.
Okay, hello everyone. It's been so long since I've been like on a live stream, so this is super exciting. But I'm Miss Purple. I am a storyteller and community manager with Proof of Play, but then also independently as well. My focus is on privacy forward projects and specifically Africa focused projects. So super excited to be here. I think the first time I heard about Octet was like a lot of years ago. I don't know how long ago it was, but I think it was probably like Epoch. Was it Epoch 5 or Epoch 3? I'm not sure. So yeah, it's a full circle moment now to be like an Octon user and person who participates. So super fun to be here.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah, super happy to have you
nice.
here, Miss Purple. DeFi Prince,
Yeah,
please intro.
so I'm DeFi Prince and I'm a community mod in Autant. It's been a pleasure to work alongside the Autant team. And today this is my first appearance in the live stream. It's my pleasure to be here. And I'm also a software engineer and a dev of relations. I love writing articles that help developers, understand the tech they use. So this is me saying GM. Thank you.
Sweet. Thank you, DeFi Prince, for coming on here. if you've been in our Discord, you've probably seen DeFi Prince there, replying to you and interacting and sharing updates. So here you can attach a face to it. So a face to him. So that's awesome to have you here as well, DeFi Prince, for the first time. Cool. So as I said, the plan for today is to walk through a little bit the app and maybe get your thoughts on it. To start, have you both already allocated your votes, or are you still gonna do it?
I didn't waste time.
Oh,
Because what's the point?
Nice.
Because I knew if I wait, I'm gonna wait until the last minute, and then I'm just gonna do that thing where I just donate to like everyone, and then I don't even think. And I mean, kudos to everybody, but I like to take my time. I'm a researcher at heart, so I'm probably gonna want to like dive into things and then just get a feel for it. And sometimes I'll come back and I'll go, ooh, maybe just a couple more, just a little bit, just cause, So yeah.
Nice, awesome.
Yes.
What did you think of the experience?
I thought it's, especially because I've used it like a couple times before, like I've used Octane before, like it definitely feels more like it was built for people who both understand what they're doing, but you also have no idea what you're doing. So that was super fun. I had to play around, just like press buttons and just like figure out what every new thing is. But now it definitely feels a lot more fluid, I think. So whoever built this, I see you. I see what you're trying to do, and I appreciate it because sometimes it gets very overwhelming. So I think this experience now is geared towards making sure there is as much information as you need, but it doesn't kind of bog you down for you to feel like there's just too much all in one space. So I liked it.
Nice. I'm glad you did. What about you, DeFi Prince? Did you play around with it?
Yeah, sure. I've played around with it, and first of all, I think I'm gonna appreciate the interface, the UI here, because it looks really clean this time around. I mean, everything is clear now, mostly the colors, the buttons you play with. I mean, it gets to see them very clear. So that's like 100 for me for this new Octant app. Then also allocating, you have double choice. You can play around with your rewards, or you allocate from your your width, which is like giving freedom to the people. You do what you like to do in the new app, and the simulator thing to play around with and see what you're doing, which will work for you and which will not work for you. Play around with those those buttons. I think this is a good one for me. Yeah. I give it a thumbs up for this new interface. Yes, and the user experience too is it's very straightforward. You click on the round, select your project, add to ballot, and you're already allocating. Yeah, that's really nice. Yes.
Yeah, thumbs up and shout out to the team that built it. Julio there, who's watching us, is one of them. So thanks a lot for that. Yeah, it's truly awesome.
Nice.
And let's take a look at it. Let me share my screen here. Yeah, let's go through the flow together. There we go. Ta-da! This is the new Octant app. Here you can see well, the different epochs. You can navigate through them, see all the projects that were funded in previous epochs. You can see some metrics from previous rounds. Anything really, like a lot of interesting data. Epoch 11 was interesting because it was protocol guild only, but maybe this is more interesting to show. But yeah, a lot of interesting data for anyone who's keen to learn more. We also have a leaderboard. Did you guys check this out? Did you receive your sort of
I did not
avatar?
check this out. I should check this out after this. Mine better be purple. If it's not purple, there's gonna be a problem.
Purple is good. Well, I don't know how much you've donated, Miss Purple.
No, I don't think I
Um,
can reach purple just now. Like I need more if I want purple. If I want to reach PG patron, I need to work on that.
and yeah, look at these amounts. Like this, that's why they get like the DT
Yeah.
tag, because they donated, I don't know,
Yeah.
more than 20 ETH, more than
That's
10 ETH.
insane,
That's
yo.
crazy, right?
That
Yeah.
no, wow. Kudos to you guys. See, these are the type of people that my heart goes out to, like truly, because I don't think people fully understand like the insanity it takes for us to, as a group of people who probably don't even know each other, to just say, hey, I believe in what you're working on. I support the vision. I support the mission. So here's my money. That's fantastic. That's the kind of world I'm trying to live in. So appreciate everybody who's put in their ETH and their wheat. If you haven't though, it's not too late. It's not too late. So
Yes. Actually, this was my favorite part in this whole new redesign, because the last epoch when we allocated and we got this this leaderboard, it took us back to the time we did those Autumn's card. Those were giving out those cards during those back in the days. Get to play around with it and understand where you are in the leaderboard with your how far you have supported the projects that Autumn had funded back in the days. Yeah, so this is a really good one, to see your wallet in the leaderboard. So I think
Yeah, as you
I
say,
got Oracle. I got Oracle from from this leaderboard.
you got Oracle. I think I got Oracle too.
Yeah, yeah, I got Oracle.
Miss Purple, tell
nice.
us what you get when you
Okay.
did it.
Oh,
When you did
oh,
it.
go check. Gosh, I hope at least I get Oracle too. I'm gearing for a deity in my next life, maybe.
2 years from now. 2 years from now.
3 years.
Trust
Just
it.
give me 3 years. I'll be a deity in 3 years for my rewards. That's how I'll do it.
100%. Yeah, so this is pretty cool, I think. Then we have the dashboard that shows us Epoch 12. Well, this is a testing wallet that I use because I've already allocated mine and so on. So I wanted to show the fresh experience here. That's why it shows 0, and I'm just a seeker, a newbie in this
Yeah,
wallet.
still exploring the waters. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, here you can see in this dashboard your rewards, how much I've generated, let's say in the time that this has been locked. It's not a lot of money because there's only 200 GLM locked, but enough to allocate and vote for the projects. We can see the 30-day APR, which is pretty sweet actually, considering that it's being paid in ETH. So just
Yeah.
saying.
Just saying, just putting it out there. No financial advice.
And yeah, we have here our little card to lock and unlock GLM if we wanted to. But let's go to the important part, that is allocating. And for this, I need to change my shared screen. Yeah. This work.
Is it working?
Yes.
There we go.
It's up.
It's up. Yeah, so once you're here, then you are ready to allocate. I see already have 3 projects in my ballot. I'm gonna remove them just to have a clean slate.
You can just click discard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See?
But you know the UI better than me. You clearly explored it all.
I like to click buttons. If there's a button, I want to click it because what does it do, right? Because what if I'm in an emergency and I need to figure it out? So best to just fiddle when you have the time, you know? So, yeah.
You know, poking around does help.
It does. Also, to be fair, it's a QA mindset. I think I've spent the last little bit of time just working as a QA and just like finding bugs everywhere. So it's my favorite thing to do. Just like find all the problems and then be like, this does not work. But when things work, it's great. It's fantastic. Then I feel good. Then I feel like, okay, my job here is done.
Nice. So, Miss Purple, which button should we click next then?
Right now? Well, I mean, you said you
Yes.
wanted to start afresh, right? So you'd have to first remove them from your ballot and then start from zero. Or just kind of go through whatever projects it is that you're looking for right now.
Yeah. So we don't have any projects in our ballot anymore. I think it's a good time to introduce this is I've already voted with this wallet, so let me change it. Let me change to a different one. Maybe
Hot
this
question.
one.
How many wallets do you have?
I have 3 for like testing purposes, but
No, sir. I'm not talking about testing wallets. No. I'm talking about how many wallets you got.
okay, so
You're being
like
curious.
personally, myself.
Yeah. Yes.
Oof, okay, that's a lot. But I don't
Right?
have a lot of funds in most of them.
Okay, fair.
But
still,
yeah.
you need to. I think I create a new wallet every time I want to explore something new. Sometimes I just do it just because I'm paranoid.
I think
Nice.
most of us does. Most of us does. We have a Bona wallet we used to do. All this connect your stuff, test your stuff. We don't use our main wallets to do it here.
Yeah, I think that's how it goes. Let's see. Let's try maybe this one.
Yeah, I don't think this one has donated yet. Yay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, nice. So
Awesome.
what I wanted to show you is but this one doesn't have any ETH, so I cannot use the feature that I want. Let me send some ETH to this wallet. So maybe you all know, but we have introduced direct donations so that people can donate ETH without needing to lock GLM for, let's say, 3 months was normally what you needed to wait for, at least to get the full effective amount, full effective rewards and donate. So we have now introduced direct donations, so you can use ETH straight away. I just funded this wallet, so it should allow me to change my budget here. Yeah, as you can see, if you click on budget, it automatically will pick your accrued rewards, which is what I showed at the beginning, that was generated from GLM locking. But if I click on this drop down here, I can now choose wallet ETH. So that means I will be using the ETH that this wallet has. Off the bat, it just adds everything and gives you 100%. So be careful with that. You maybe don't want to allocate it all. I'm gonna pick 50%, although, or maybe I want to allocate 100%. Just because look at Octi, look at how happy he gets here in the bottom when I allocate 100%.
Look at those cute little hearts.
And look how sad he gets if I don't allocate anything.
that is really an expressing emoji. He
We
wants
want to
you to
make
donate
Octi
higher.
happy.
We need to make Octi
Octi wants
happy.
you to
How happy
donate
should we
higher.
make it?
Yeah.
You guys tell
I
me.
say let's do 50. Let's do 50.
Okay.
I was gonna say 40, by the way.
Let's do 51 because look, he's slightly happier with 51 than 50.
Okay, let's do 50.
Okay, we're gonna do
Let's do
51.
51. Yeah.
Octi's
So
slightly
Octi's
happier.
happy.
Sweet. So how it works with direct donations is that 50% of what you want to commit to the round gets swapped to GLM and burnt, and this of course happens in the background, and then the other 50% you can use to vote. And this is all of course to sort of balance out the people who are locking for a longer period of time. So it's a good thing, and of course once you've done that, it should be a good motivation for you to buy GLM and lock it so that you can use it in the future as well. So there we go. We save, and then this is what our budget is. We have successfully set up our budget. What should we do next, Miss Purple? What's your next favorite button?
Where do you want to take your money to? You know, now you need to see what the projects are, I think, in my opinion.
Let's check them out.
If you already know where you want to donate your funds, then that's great for you. But if you're like me and you like to go, ooh, I haven't seen you before, I want to find out about you, that might take you a while. So, but it's worth it. I think sometimes it's worth it to just like discover a new project, and maybe you might end up finding either a new product that you like or just, you know, an organization that you can tap into. So.
Exactly. So let's make as if we don't know these projects, although I feel we all pretty much know them, but I think it's a good opportunity to comment a little bit on them. So if you click on the projects, then you can see like a longer description of what they do. Let's use this project navigator actually. Let's go to number 1 and start from the first one. The Tor project
button is actually my favorite part, to be honest.
Which one?
The project navigator button.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah, it's my best button
Why?
so far. Because you don't have to go back, click on project. You just go front, and you see all the projects. I mean the project navigator button. Yeah.
This one here. Yeah, yes. It's pretty cool. You can also use the arrows, so you don't need to click. That's pretty cool.
You don't need to, you don't need to go back and forth. Just go.
Okay, so Tor project. What do we think of it? Do you guys know what they do? Is any of you two dare to?
Tor's legit. Okay, no.
Explain?
If you're saying dare to explain, no, I cannot do that. But but basically Tor's like if you think privacy maxis, think Tor. So they have Tor browser, of course. They have VPNs. There's also Onion browser. There's like a whole universe of Tor users. Like that's once you go Tor, you can never just go back. Like that's in my opinion, of course, like a very non-professional opinion. But yeah, they are, as far as I recall, they're free and open source and have been for like a really long time. So they fully depend on, the goodness of all our hearts to just kind of donate and put money together towards making sure that the project survives. So, yeah.
Exactly. So you're the privacy maxi, Miss Purple. Tell us, how do you use Tor project?
Not maxi. No, I mean, I tend to try to use the browser sometimes. I mean, it's not always efficient all the time for me to do it, of course, because then everybody else will be using something else, and then I send a link and they don't know how to access that link and whatnot. But I do use it. I have like the Tor browser on my actual phone, so like I actually use it on my phone sometimes, just to like research stuff. I'm not doing weird things, please. Okay, let's just put that out there. I just use it to just like browse the net. I just like knowing that there's an extra layer of privacy that I can depend on. So yeah, that's mainly what I use them for. I mainly use their browser.
Awesome. Yeah, privacy is normal, so we should
Exactly.
start normalizing these kind of tools, not letting everyone we don't want to know.
Yeah, because why do you need to know all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we know who wants to know that stuff. It's mostly like these big corporates who wants to sell us advertising and all that stuff, or who knows what they're spying us for. So yeah, privacy is good. Privacy is normal.
Yeah.
Tor project, big for privacy. Let's add it to the ballot.
Of course.
33 backers so far. That's pretty solid. Estimated matching 3 ETH. Solidity. What about Solidity?
This is Princess Turf, I'm sure.
I think Solidity is one of the big players in the ecosystem, honestly. I mean, it's the language for Ethereum, so everybody got to love Solidity. Yeah. Personally, I love Solidity. I've played around with Solidity. They are the big guys in the industry. They are the reason decentralization is here. So, very good one, if you ask me.
Sweet. Yeah, you're also dev, right? DeFi Prince, aside from being our moderator.
Yeah. 100.
So how is Solidity? How is using it?
Solidity is good. It's a smart contract programming language for Ethereum. If you're Ethereum Maxi, if you're coming to Ethereum, Solidity is your go-to place for other stuff, for smart contracts and learning about it, writing, compiling, and playing around in Ethereum. So Solidity is the language, is the go-to for you. And the Solidity community is also great. They have a great learning resources to give you a head start if you're coming in new. Yeah.
Nice, awesome. Let's add it to the ballot. L2Beat. L2Beat is awesome.
Yeah, it's great for if you either obviously either are in any of the L2s, then you're always wanting to keep an eye on your competitors. But also, even if you're not, it's great like recon, it's great to give you like a big purview of what the L2s are doing and how they're performing, etc. And just kind of jig your memory and to realize like how far they've progressed in certain things. So I enjoy it as like an impartial user who doesn't work for any of the L2s, but I'm pretty sure all the L2 employees use this on a daily because yeah, it's like it gives you bragging rights too sometimes. I feel like, when base is up or when Arbitrum is up there, everybody loses their minds. So yeah, I would add it. I added it to my ballot because always.
Let's add it to the ballot. Actually, just before jumping to this live stream, I saw someone who was indeed from the Aztec team, I think, shilling that they just got like the full green pizza.
Exactly.
On L2Beat. So yeah, absolutely for bragging.
Yeah. But also even if you're not the bragger, like if you're just a normal user, it's great for you to read these things and just like see it in a way that doesn't make you feel like you have to read 5,000 white papers. You can just get like a nice little purview of all of that. So L2Beat
Yeah, and
for the
beyond
win.
that, like, yes, let's go L2Beat. Beyond that, like, it's also a sort of like independent third party that doesn't, like has an independent
Impartial.
voice, and
Yeah.
you don't need to trust whatever the team is saying because, of course, they're gonna They're gonna try to sell themselves as best as possible, but L2Bit is cutting all the bullshit and helping us understand it better. And what I've learned recently in our demo day is that they're going way beyond L2 analysis now. I mean, we've already seen that they have been doing like data availability analysis as well, and more recently they're introducing privacy too. So they used to call themselves the L2 police, and now they're calling themselves the crops police. So I think that was pretty cool.
I think that's pretty cool.
All right, we've added them to the ballot. Let's see who's next. DAppNode. Do any of you run DAppNode?
Do you say the app node? You don't say DApp.
Wow. I say DAppNode.
Oh, I thought you said the app. I was gonna be like, wait, that's so cool. I've never heard anybody say it like that.
DAppNode. Any of you run a DAppNode?
No, I don't run a DAppNode. I think they're pretty good in what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool. And the cool thing is that you can run both an Ethereum node and a Gnosis chain node, for example. So it's super cool. It's they've been building a lot on AI, which is also awesome. Pretty interesting, like for self-hosting your own LLMs and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I love DAppNode. It was one of the first projects I ever got to know. Like I remember my first ever conference, or it was not the first ever, but it was maybe the second, was DevConnect in Amsterdam. And I remember they had a whole event on Ethereum staking and stuff like that. So I went to the DAppNode event and pretty much sat there all day and ended up winning a DAppNode myself. So that was great. Yeah.
Congratulations. Not jealous at all.
Thank you. So yeah, let's add it to the ballot for sure. Great for if you want to do solo staking and if you want to contribute to the Ethereum network. Geographic decentralization, super important for us in like remote parts of the world ish. It's good to run nodes here so that the network gets decentralized.
Yes, 100%.
Agreed.
Funding the commons.
100%. Yes. I don't even have to explain. Yes. Because why? Yes.
Tell us what's funding the commons, Miss Purple.
Funding the commons is a researcher's dream. Okay. I think they're doing every single thing that, okay, maybe not everything, but you get my point. Like they're doing a lot specifically for people who are genuinely building for, for the common good of the people. So whether you're an actual like full-on builder or you're a researcher or you're just someone who dabbles, whatever it is that you're involved in, there is very likely a place for you within Funding the Commons in a roundabout way. So I'm just a big Funding the Commons fan, man. Like I think I'm just I have a science history as well. So I've been able to find a lot of people within the Funding the Commons community that are in everywhere. Like literally they're in everywhere. They're in everything. They're from everywhere. It's super global and it's super open to the concept of just kind of closing the gap, between people actually receiving their funding and it just saying, oh, great, there's funding for you. Okay. And then what? Okay. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. An amazing team. They've recently been working with organizations like UNDP as well. So also bringing kind of Web3 mechanisms and funding for public goods to like huge global organizations like UNDP. So absolutely check them out.
I think they worked with Tor as well. because I recall seeing or meeting some of the tour members at the last Funding the Commons event that I was at. So I think they are probably working on something together as well. So
Yeah, for sure. They recently had a funding round as well. They just closed the other day. That was for internet freedom. They co-organized it. So super meaningful work. Yeah, definitely cool. Oh, here. UNDP partnerships, UNDP, UNICEF, Office of Innovation, Protocol Labs, and the Tor project. That's a
Yeah.
solid lineup of partnerships.
that's super solid, super solid.
So yes, already added to the ballot. Let's see who's next. Ethereum Economic Zone. Who dares to explain what this is? DeFi Prince, do you know them?
No, I've not really paid attention to them. I think I'll give Miss Purple to give us.
Why do you assume I know? I don't.
Not putting you on the spot at all.
Hot seat. I mean, I don't know much about them either. But what I do know is I think there's an Ethereum Economic Zone. Either it's a conversation that's happening, or it's the project is in implementation. That, and as in, like, it is happening for it to be set up to have an economic zone in Nigeria, I believe, or something like that. But essentially, the idea is to just have Ethereum communities from all over just kind of create, spaces, as far as I know. Like, if you're going to be decentralized, you also want to make sure that the community is able to run itself and power itself up and prop itself up and perhaps encourage each other from that way, because obviously the foundation can't just do that from one place. So that's the little bit about what I know. I'm not entirely certain what it is that they're doing exactly, but I know a little bit about it. So for that, I would say I will probably not add it onto my ballot just quite yet. I'll probably want to see more, hear more, maybe do some more research on them. But yeah.
Yeah,
I
actually, when I first when I first learned about or like heard the name Ethereum Economic Zone, I also thought it was something in the direction of what Miss Purple was talking about. I think that's the Ethereum Everywhere team, who unfortunately I think got hit with the latest
dang.
But I believe this is something even more interesting, at least on the technical side of things, because it's sort of interoperability project that uses ZK, and it was presented by Jordi Baylina in at EthCC. I went to his presentation. He actually tested it live. How, like, basically this solves the liquidity fragmentation in the Ethereum and L2's ecosystem, and just creates like it's just like the end game for me for interoperability. So it's an awesome project. I also believe they should maybe change their name so that people aren't mix it up
because
with
what's
an
the
actual
zone?
economic zone. Yeah.
Like, what's the zone? Like, do they mean that like in a facetious, jokey manner to say the zone is everywhere? Like, is that the implication?
The zone is in the interwebs.
Okay. Well, it's kind of confusing, but okay. We'll let it slide.
We'll let it slide, but I will add it to the ballot because it's an awesome project.
Okay.
Next up,
before
we
proceed,
Hypercerts.
Before we proceed, I would just like to say, I think at this point we're probably going to add all the projects onto our ballot.
Yes,
but that's not a bad thing. That is not a bad thing at all. That's not a bad
thing. Not a bad thing. At least we get to check them all out a little bit,
Yeah.
Hypercerts.
Demo.
Yes. Hypercerts. Anyone wants to talk about them?
Prince will do
it. Oh, that's some revenge there by Miss Purple.
Yeah. I see she's doing a comeback there. Honestly, I haven't studied them much. I know, but I checked out some few projects which I honestly like, but I haven't checked Hyperstars that much. But if you're reading about
Uh,
them, I think they're
yeah, I can help you out. Basically, they help with the sort of evaluation and impact certification problem. They've been also running a lot of experiments with amazing projects in real life, and Hypersearch just helps having a better understanding of like the impact that's being generated and the people involved and so on, and then it gives you something that is pretty much stands the test of time, so it basically lives forever. So adding it to the ballot, Shify. I'm sure Miss Purple
Yay.
knows
Hey,
about
why are you
Shify.
sure? Why are you sure? I mean, yes, but why are you sure?
I mean, this is not something for DeFi Prince or me, right? So it has
I
to be
yeah.
mean,
you.
I mean
it is.
the name says it, or the name says it. So you're gonna try to defend
Okay.
it. You
I
know.
mean, I'll let that slide. However, Shifi kind of is for everyone. But yeah, I actually am a Shifier myself, so I definitely know about Shifi. I was part of cohort 9. So the entire ethos of Shifi is a structured cohort of people who identify either as women, females, or just or allies and align within that, branch. And it's a couple weeks of just in-depth education, but with structure, of course. So when I first did it, I recall thinking, like the first 2 weeks, I was like, okay, do I really want to do this? I know all of this stuff already. I don't need to relearn any of this. But I think I got midway and I said, wait, we're doing DeFi? Like we're legit, like we're doing serious things. So I love that about ShiFi, that it just kind of covers everything from like your super basic things, like your creating a wallet and understanding what all of that is. That's like in the first couple of weeks. But by the time I think you get to like week 4, you start to get into the weeds of exactly, a lot more about Ethereum and, things like either it's staking or anything else that's DeFi related or whatever. There's a lot of that, of course, a lot of that content. And right now, this, as you can see by the banner, we are on season 16. So that's 16 cohorts of people, and each cohort has like a bunch of people from everywhere, like legit everywhere. I've met so many Shifiers from across the world. And what Jerry said, like, do it scared. That's the entire, like, that's it, that right there. And it's opened so many doors for people just by the connection by itself, just the networking that you're able to receive, whether you're able to attend one of the summits or you're just fully virtually online. I would definitely put Shifi in my ballot 5,000 times over, because yes, Shifi to the very end. Okay. Because if you're not a Shifi, what are you doing? Okay. And if you're a guy, please don't sleep on Shifi either. Don't think just because you're not a she. Okay. You have 5 million she's in your life, I can bet you. So go find yourself a she and give her give her a cohort access. Okay. Just buy her some Shifi access and you'll be grand. I promise you. So
Yeah,
Sweet.
just like
Thank you,
Jerry
Miss
said,
Purple.
refi to DeFi to regen.
exactly. And like the whole point is just build like an onboarding layer, right? You want more people, because if you have more people, you have more brain power. If you have more brain power, you're probably gonna have more money for us to play around with. And then we can build cooler things. And it's just better for everyone. Okay. Shifi is good for everyone.
I agree.
For sure. All right, I just realized we only have 15 minutes left, and we have
Oh
almost
no.
16 more projects to go
Oh
through.
no.
So
Okay. How
we
about
gotta
we
rush
do a
through them a little
speed
bit.
fire round? Yeah, we'll do a speed fire round. You're only allowed to say one
Let's do
line.
it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who's gonna do it for open
You
source
can do it.
observer? Okay, hold it. It's gonna be easy. Like I'm just gonna read this. Open source observer uses open data to measure impact of various initiatives across the Ethereum ecosystem. Super important to understand all the open source funding flows and the open source data going around mainly on the Ethereum ecosystem. So adding them to the ballot for sure. All right, next,
Nice.
Grow the Pie.
Grow the pie. Okay, I would say Grow the Pie is like visual analysis. That's like the core ethos, mainly for Ethereum, of course, but also, what else can I say? Yeah, visual analysis, but also like written analysis, because they also do articles. So data. Yeah. And data is good. We like data.
They are big on data.
Yeah.
Added to the ballot. Yeah, they present amazing data for sure. All right, next, Roki. Okay, I feel this one's also for Miss Purple as a
Really?
privacy advocate.
I don't actually know Roki that much. Yeah.
Oh, okay, you're gonna
like I've
love
seen
them
it
then.
around. I didn't get into them that much. So yeah.
Different Prince, do you want to go for it, or?
I think from the abouts, there are many doing. They're focusing on privacy. You know, if I read the first line there, they say Roki is the only crypto portfolio and task tool that runs entirely on your machine. So your sensitive financial history never leaves your control. So it's all about privacy. You control your data, you control your information, so that whatever you do about your finances don't leave your don't leave your machine. So I don't know much about them, but I know they have been around in the previous rounds. But I think anybody that wants to check it out can just go through their bio, read about them, and figure that out. You can just add it to the ballot.
Yeah, Roadkey is awesome. It's a portfolio management tool that is fully run on your machine, so fully private, and helps you do your taxes as well.
Because we love taxes.
We love taxes. Said no one ever. All right, Gili EcoTrust. Anyone want to go for this one? I'll do it quickly.
Yeah.
Gili, like they've been doing amazing work with climate related stuff. So right now they are working on a waste crisis because of tourism growth, which is, I guess, positive for the island, but not the waste, of course. So they're solving it, and they had some pictures here of a lot of media about how they've solved it and what they're doing. And they did an amazing work in the past as well related to coral reefs. So check them out. Amazing project as well. And shout out to Donnie, who was here in the live stream, and he's been a huge helper of them and onboarded them to this. So that's awesome. Okay, next up, Estus. Also a bit hard. I don't know if any of you wanna take a stab at it.
It's a bit hard, but from what I'm gathering from this, is this like open source infra, super technical. I've never thought of the phrases non-censoring MEV boost in like as one phrase, so that seems very interesting to me. I don't know that much about it though, but it's very interesting that that's being ran as a public good. That's pretty dope. So kudos to them.
Yeah, no, super important infra for boosting MEV for validators, and it's a public good. So we're adding them to the ballot. And we have Crypto Altruists.
Crypto Altruists. These are like think honest media. That's what I could say. Honest media about Ethereum. So whether you're into like doing the reading stuff, like I do, because then you like to cross your T's and all of that, or you like listening to podcasts. So yeah, it can be pretty brutal, but I think that's good. I think that's what we need. So yeah, media, research, education, information, all of that.
Sweet. Yes, definitely adding to the ballot. And we go to the next one. ETHStaker.
I think
Diva
that
Prince,
sounds
you
pretty
wanna?
self-explanatory.
Yeah. Do you know them, Diva Prince? Do you wanna talk about them?
Yeah, sorry, I think I'm having some little, network issues there, but okay, I'm good. Can anyone hear me? Am I doing like
Yeah, we hear you, right?
Yeah, we hear you.
I can help you out
oh,
though.
yeah, just
ETHStaker
I think I'm
is
having a little network issues.
sorry. Say it again.
No, go on.
Oh yeah, ETHStaker is a community that helps solo stakers and anything related to staking and validating Ethereum. So yeah, as Miss Purple said, pretty self-explanatory. Anything staking related, go for ETHStaker, and they're gonna help you out. They have amazing resources as well, so adding them to the ballot for sure.
Ballot. Okay, I have to say, I love this name. I love Seal 911's name. Like it feels so radical, you know, like emergency, need to call Seal 911. But yeah,
I think
to
the
describe
911
them, I would
just
say that what?
Oh, go on.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, just like they're literally how the name sounds. If you think SEAL, so SEAL team, super strong, super, frontline, just making sure that everybody's safe. 911 emergency, right? When you're in trouble. So, I mean, you don't always have to call them when you're in trouble, but basically, they're for security purposes, like security researchers, developers, users, everybody who's just kind of into that. And they're just kind of just there in Telegram to just help you out. So I think that's pretty cool. So. Yeah. They're your security
Ding.
SEAL team.
Yes, added to the ballot. Ethereum attestation service.
I think this one is pretty much self-explanatory. EAX is used for validating data online. Use stickers to validate your information, for verifying your data, and pretty much what the name says.
Yeah,
Attest to the
Ethereum
data that you
attestation
have
service.
that is very correct. Yes.
Added to the ballot. Remix. Diva Prince, have you used Remix?
Yes, of this Remix is an online tool for developing on Ethereum writing smart contracts. When you're starting on Solidity, you don't have to do all those smart contract stuff, setting up a environment for writing your smart contract. With Remix, you can set up a project online, write online. They have their decent for running the smart contract and testing out. You can even connect your live wallet to test out your smart contract if it is working. So Remix is a really good project for me. Yeah, add it to ballot.
Yeah, and
I mean,
they have
you can build a full a full project on Remix alone without moving away, and even deploy it on LiveNet. So yeah.
Yeah, an amazing project. OG as well, and they're running a bootcamp right now, so check them out on Encode Club.
Nice.
Next, ECH Institute. They are Ethereum cat herders. Well, they coordinate a lot of discussions around EIPs and Ethereum and educate about them. So adding them to the ballot for sure. Yes, we love that. Protocol Guild. Miss Purple, do you know Protocol Guild?
I know Protocol Guild, but I don't know enough for me to do the explainer. But I'm gonna find a line in their about section to describe them. Hang on, let me see. Ooh. Counterbalance? No. Okay. Like their about is not giving enough right now.
Yeah,
for me.
I'm realizing it's terrible about. But
Yeah.
what they do basically is they fund core protocol developers and researchers. We know they get pouched all the time and go to different teams. So they've created a system to continuously vest some funds based on their contributions to the Ethereum Core Protocol. So amazing project.
Yep.
Added to the ballot.
Yep.
Green Pill Dev Guild.
Yes,
Who
that needs to
wants
go
to do
into the
this one?
ballot. 100%. It needs to go into the
Tell
So when you
us-
think green pill,
tell us why.
100% think everything green, right? And by green, we're talking either it's solar or water or nature or everything else that's just kind of nature related. And the preservation of that, whether it's giving money to that or doing research, etc., or just coordinating around that. 100% into that. As a Cypher solar punk myself, 100% in my ballot. So, yay.
It's in the ballot. Shutter Network. Shutter is awesome. Shutter, they're working on encrypting the mempool right now, like encrypting the public mempool on Ethereum to protect users from toxic MEV. So check them out. Also check out Encrypt the mempool. That's their new sort of alliance they're creating. Amazing project for sure. Added to the ballot. Zach XVT.
We don't have to
XVT.
explain Zach. We don't have to explain Zach.
I
Zach
think
is
everybody
everybody's
knows Zach.
superhero.
He's
our
the
superhero.
FBI. He's the FBI. He's the FBI in the decentralized world. Yeah.
He's an OG.
He's the
Like
FBI.
Zach is the ultimate investigator. Okay, you do not want to be in Zach's. Like you don't want him to mention your name ever. If he mentions your name, it's not a good thing. Okay, so just let's donate money
100%.
so that he can keep us all safe, please. I beg you.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Blue Filter.
Wow, never heard of them.
They're awesome.
Nature-based water
basically-
purification.
Yeah, they've created a water purification system. They've been working on like really tough regions like Palestine, for example, to provide them with these filters, and so they
I love
can
that.
access water, and stuff. And yeah, amazing work they're doing. To the ballot for sure.
To the ballot
And
for sure.
last but not least,
Not
Revoke
least.
Cash.
Revoke Cash has saved my life more times than I
Revoke
care to count.
Cash.
100%.
Like,
I agree with you, Miss Purple.
Revoke Cash is like the best way for you to just, if you're paranoid like me, for you to just make sure that you are as safe as you can possibly be. Just go revoke. Okay, it's the best thing you can do for yourself. Just revoke. Just lock
Revoke
it
Cash.
down. It's not going to be perfect, but it's the best way for you to just revert any permissions you've kind of given with your wallet, and then feel like you're on a clean slate.
I think I've used Revoke Cash like 5 to 10 times. Always making sure that my wallet is clean, to be honest.
Clean
Same,
wallets.
same.
That's what we need.
Yes, clean wallets. And we have our last project.
Yay!
And for the final part of the stream, we're gonna cast the donation
the ballot.
here.
Yeah.
We can review the ballot clicking here. This is the contribution that we have set up. As we said, 51%. And here we have all the projects. We can, change the allocations
adjust the
here, but
Yeah.
adjust the percentage. But we're gonna leave it like that. Look at these beautiful multipliers.
We love those.
179x,
Love
152x.
those.
That's a lot of money that gets multiplied. So yeah. Oh, whoops. I don't know what happened here.
What did you do?
It's
What did you
below-
do?
It's below the rounds minimum. So I think we
Oh.
need to do. There we go. Oh yeah, because we wanted 50%. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Oh no, you shifted something, I think. When you were adjusting your percentages, it messed with something.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a good reminder that if you go below 0.024, you're not gonna be able to donate. So make sure you're above that. We're gonna do 0.035 ETH and review and sign.
Review and sign.
Drum roll. I'm signing. I know you probably cannot see this. Thank you.
We can feel it. We can feel the signing.
We can feel that
It's
happening.
in the ether. It's in the ether.
It's in the ether. There we go. We've signed the
Yay!
simulation, and now
Sign and
we
submit.
do the actual thing. Sign and submit. Signing. Okay, sweet. We signed the ETH contribution, and you will need 2 signatures here. Don't forget that.
Yeah, the first signature you pay gas, the second you don't have to pay gas. Yeah.
Exactly. The second one is to submit your ballot. There we go. Locking in your contribution, and the second signature popped up. Ta-da! Our vote is in.
Woohoo!
We can see all the projects that we funded, and we are number 77. Oh, that's my lucky number. Nice. And we can
Did
share
you
the
just
next.
come up with that, or was that actually your lucky number?
No, like 777 is my lucky number. My ID has it,
Oh.
and
Oh,
it's everywhere.
spirit
Must be
numbers.
your
Love
lucky
it.
day.
Yeah. So yeah, there we go. And of course, if you have any feedback, please on the bottom right there, you can send us feedback, and also you can ask AI. Like, it will tell you who have I voted for, or I don't know. There's a lot of things you can ask this AI. You voted for all 25 projects in the round, each receiving
Nice.
0.00070 WETH. So it tells you everything.
Yeah.
And makes it easy to access and review. So
Mm-hmm.
check that out as well. And yeah, crazy. The time has gone by, but this has been a super fun live stream. Thank you,
I think
Miss Purple and DeFi
some
Prince.
questions. Don't know. I want to chip in something. Some people might want to ask, can you change your vote after you have casted it?
You cannot.
So, thank you.
It's locked
You
in,
can.
people.
No, you can.
You can.
You can change your vote.
Okay,
But
don't change
only
your vote unless you add more. Okay.
Unless you add more.
But
yes,
yeah, I think
exactly.
if you can add more. If you discover another project that you later fall in love with, you can always add it.
Yes. Only until the end of the round, though, of course. Until the 30th of June, you can change your votes. Anything else you'd like to mention, Miss Purple or DeFi Prince, before we wrap up here?
I guess the final thing to mention is that you have until the 30th. Okay, so there's still a little bit of time, but that's not a lot of time. So I would say do it as soon as possible. It's just worth it, Like, I think we survive in Ethereum off of public goods, and if we get more public goods funded, then we get more good out of Ethereum, and that's why we're here. So yeah,
love it.
And
thank you, Miss Purple.
The last thing I want to say is, if you have any issues, if you run into any issues, casting your votes, hop into the community, ask questions. I will be there waiting for you to solve them.
Nice.
Sweet. Dream team. Thank you, DeFi Prince. Thank you, Miss Purple. This is super fun. I think we've shown everyone what all the ins and outs of the new Epoch and Octant V2 are. So I hope you like them. And we'll see you tomorrow for another live stream with more projects. That should be pretty fun and insightful, so don't miss it. Every day at the same time, 10 a.m. Eastern, and we'll be here for you. Thank you all. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you all. Bye.
Bye.